we're gonna have the 30-year bond at 1%, we're gonna have the 10-year note at a quarter of a percent. So, you're gonna be able
Y'all
to do
seeing
these
this?
things and still
Look
be
at
very
that.
attractive.
You worried about oil? When you look at crude oil, oil is down about 12% week to date. Are you hearing any sort of broomstick fractures in the hedge fund world, or not predicting anything?
Not yet, but 2 weeks ago I wrote a commentary on the coronavirus, and I pointed out that the technicals, if we broke the
Take a
level,
close look.
the lows would put us on target to go to $25. So we're there, and so I expect oil is at least going to 40 and probably going to go lower before this is over.
Okay, I need to know about yield curves.
Right.
We
And
are
y'all
seeing an
been
inversion
distracted
of the
this
yield
whole
curve,
time.
which, for people who don't know exactly what that means, when the closer, the shorter dated treasuries are yielding more than the longer out ones, like the 3-month versus the 10-year, for example. That's a sign of a recession coming. Do you see a recession? Because in your note that came out last night, you said that you haven't seen anything this bad since what was expected in the Spanish flu in 1918.
Right.
So that's depression era. Do you see a recession or even a depression?
Well, I mean, look, there was a severe downturn that followed the Spanish influenza. And I think that, if we get this into the pandemic stage, we are going to have a recession. I think at a global level, we're very close to recession right now. When you take the average of all the GDP around the world and whether it's growing or not, Europe has probably already slipped into a recession. I believe China is clearly in a recession at this point. So, it's just a matter of, how long it takes to hit our shores.
I've got to ask a very pointed question here. We have seen countries go negative on their interest rates, whether it was Germany, Japan, and I think the entire bond yield curve for the German Bund market went negative the other day.
Right.
Do you foresee negative rates for United States?
You can't rule it out. I think that
wow.
If we go into a recession now, and given where interest rates are and where global rates are, we are the high yield alternative for the world. There would be so much capital flooding into the United States that I think it's very likely we would push rates into negative territory.
That's a bad thing, is it not? That means people would rather park their money in government treasuries and get back less.
Right. Well, and in a sense, it's a tax. Right. I mean, what's happening is the government can borrow at a negative rate, and you pay them to give them your money. So it's a form of a tax on savings.
What worries you most here? Is there a trigger you're looking at where you hit a certain point? Let me rephrase that. What are you looking for that is that screaming signal that will tell you now you get in?
Well, look, there are two things I'm looking for to find out how much worse this is going to get first. One is, if the stock market breaks meaningfully below 3,000 on the S&P, I think we're going to be down 15% or more. The other side of it is the pandemic data, the epidemic data. So,
we forgive you. Do you think it's a pandemic? Come on.
Well, here's the definition in my mind, right? If our neighbors have it, it's an epidemic. If we have it in the United States, it'll be a pandemic. And that's the way people will look at it. That's the way the economy will look at it. So, the question is, can we keep it contained? And I'll be honest with you, Liz, I've talked to a lot of experts. It's virtually universal, and what I get back is it's virtually impossible to see how we can contain this. So, it's premature to hit the panic button, but it's certainly not time to be taking on a lot of risk assets like high yield.